Hey guys, now I'm giving back here for that video, guys. Today we have monthly awards. We're talking about some Madden 2023 cover athlete, and obviously open some gap packs. But before we get into that, we have the monthly awards come out this upcoming Friday, and this is top 100. Gives you a Fire Fantasy pack, one choice of one of three 95 plus overall players, including one guaranteed full UL player. Does give you 3 times Ultimate Legend Fantasy Pack and 2 touchdown packs. And as we go down here, keep in mind this is all for monthly awards and it coming out on Friday. So let's go ahead now and take a look at some Ultimate Team, because I want to talk about some Madden 2023 cover athletes. So obviously, yes, we're now getting in that time period. We're going to start talking about Madden 2023, the information, the sneak peeks, things that get leaked, all the crazy stuff, right? All the crazy stuff. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about our first thing, and that's going to be the athlete. The actual player that could be on the cover of this next upcoming game. Now, we already know who won the Super Bowl, the LA Rams. Shout out to the LA Rams. Now, there are a couple players on the Rams that could receive a cover athlete status. And it's not against tradition to have a player have an out crazy season and then go ahead and get the cover athlete, right? So there is a player who went ahead and changed teams this offseason. His name is Matthew Stafford, who was a player for the Detroit Lions for the longest time. He went to the LA Rams and went and won a Super Bowl. That man is an absolute monster. Monster with every chance of the definition. Every circumstance of the definition, he is a monster. Now, of course, there are other players on that said team that could also win it. Another guy, Aaron Donald, who went ahead, of course, is one of the best defensive players of all time. Absolute tank when it comes to destroying people. He's another really good candidate. My third candidate, just on the LA Rams, is Jaylen Ramsey. He's another top-end cornerback. And a guy that everyone watching this video right now who's gotten to this point already has said to themselves is Cooper Kupp. The Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp. So that's 4 players just on the LA Rams alone. 4 players right there. Talking about some other prospects. Joe Burrow. Joe Cool, the guy who got the Bengals to the first playoff win in 31 years. Second off, first Super Bowl, almost winning the Super Bowl. Shout out to Joe Cool, Joe Burrow. He is a possible chance to get an MVP. To get the cover athlete. A lot of people love him. Jamar Chase, a lot of people love him. And he is very highly touted rookie who came out and they said he couldn't be catching an NFL ball. And now he's out there winning Rookie of the Year. Another player there. Now we have some other guys who also could have won MVP. We have the actual MVP of the league, Aaron Rodgers, who obviously might be going away from the Green Bay Packers this year. But he's another candidate that could go ahead and possibly get this award. He could go ahead and get the cover athlete, Aaron Rodgers, as he did go ahead and have a fantastic season. And then we have some other guys. Like I said, guys, we're going down this list, okay? We're going down the list of all these players. So I apologize for me saying another guy. There's a lot of players to talk about. Derrick Henry, who, if he didn't get hurt last year, could have been on pace to have 2,000 rushing yards and an insane amount of rushing attempts. Way too many crazy attempts. And then we have a player who actually won an award, who actually went ahead and once Derrick Henry went down, really blossomed and took over that position. And we're talking about Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts. Now, will we have more than one player? My guess is no. This year we had more than one player. We also had more than one player back in 2010. We had Larry Fitz and Hines Ward and Larry Fitz and Troy Polamalu. I don't know why I said Hines Ward. Troy Polamalu, and the reason I said this, I'm thinking about Santonio Holmes. He was prominent in that game. But anyway, so we're mostly going to have one player. It's probably not going to be a 2-player type of game. And the question is, I really think if I'm breaking this down on who it's going to be, right? 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D here, I have to think it does come down to 2 players. It's either going to be Cooper Kupp, or I feel like it's going to be, I want to say Derrick Henry. Because it's so weird to say this because, obviously, yes, Jonathan Taylor is an absolute tank, right? He's an absolute monster. And there's so many other players, Matthew Stafford, who had this fantastic season, but I feel like Madden 2023 is going to be all about it's going to be all about passing the ball or running the ball. And, how Madden's usually work and how it's been working the last couple of years, at least the last 5-6 years, is there's always one side of the ball is way too overpowered, right? We go back to the Madden 16 days where the biggest thing was the aggressive catching, right? It was the one-hand OBJ catch, right? Derrick Henry single-handedly running through people. And Jonathan Taylor did the same thing, but I do believe, based on what I've seen NFL tape of, Derrick Henry has been the unstoppable beast. Jonathan Taylor is amazing, but Derrick Henry is absolutely he runs through grown men like they're nothing. Taylor does too, but Henry's Henry. So I kind of feel like this is it. I feel like this man who could have been on pace to win the MVP award, Taylor too, was an absolute I think he deserves the guy. I think he deserves the cover athlete, in my opinion. But Cooper Kupp, it's really hard to argue with any of these players. It's really hard to argue with any of the players I've listed in this video, just because there's a reason why every one of these players I listed will on a list for the MVP this year. We're talking about players who aren't even quarterbacks, who are literally listed on MVP candidates because of how good of a performance they played this year. And there's even more than that. I'm covering the base level here. We could. I don't think there would be. Trayvon Diggs, he played absolutely amazing. Micah Parsons for the Cowboys, he played absolutely amazing. Kyler, for how long? For the time that he played absolutely out of his mind. There's so many players. Again, I know I'm missing like half the guys here of decent players, but I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's going to be based on recent memory. We saw Antonio Brown had his fantastic, crazy season that he gets a cover athlete, right? We see, what's his name? Going down the list, we have, I'm top of my head, drew a blank for a second. OBJ caught his thing. He was the guy. Richard Sherman was the guy. Lamar Jackson was the guy, right? So it's not about who wins the Super Bowl, who plays the best. It's about who's the most electrifying player in that last year. And I really think it comes down to, my opinion, it's three players. It's Henry, it's Kupp, or it's Jonathan Taylor. And I think that's the three we have to look at. For memorable, it's Stafford, but I just don't think it's going to be Stafford. I think it's going to be one of those three players. And if I had to get my money, it's going to be Derrick Henry. I really do believe it. I think we say this every single year, last 2 years, when he's had a fantastic last 2 years, because this guy just does everything you expect, but he just does +1. He +1s everything you expect him to do. And that's what's scary about Derrick Henry is he didn't come back from injury. And he came back in that playoff game. Didn't play the greatest, but he still played pretty good. And this next year, he's going to be fully healthy. The Titans are going to be a scary team yet again with Derrick Henry. But we have to wait and see what ends up happening, guys. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, though. Who would you go for your cover athlete here? Would it be Derrick Henry, or would it be Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp? Or give me a wild card. You know what? I want everyone watching this video right now, give me a wild card down below who it could be. Just a crazy, crazy guess. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.